Which of the semifinal coaches would you take over Josh Heupel, if any? So, Caleb, I want you to create that as some sort of poll question, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Actually, I've got a way to do it. Let's go ahead and get it rolling. Cooper Mays, who's out in Arizona, it was nice enough to join us live here so that he could say,
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Oh, thanks, Cooper. Shit, you. Can you say one more thing? Actually, four more things.
Coop here. First down.
All right, James Franklin. Would you take James Franklin over Josh Heupel?
No, I wouldn't.
That's hot.
James Franklin, I'm going to give him credit, but I'm going to take credit away. James Franklin, I will say this. He is your classic case of a guy who does everything right running a program off the field, but God makes such stupid decisions on the field. I don't know if you watched that Boise State game last week, Dave, but they were trying to keep Boise State in it because they kept throwing the ball when all they had to do was run it to maintain that 3-touchdown lead. And it's like, that's typical James Franklin. His in-game management would make you just want to pull your hair out. I wouldn't do a football IQ if Tennessee had James Franklin and we were covering Tennessee. I would do a James Franklin IQ each week.
Nice. All right, so let's go. James Franklin, by the way, took a shot after he said that it should be consistent across college football. Let me see.
We talked about that last segment about how they said
I know, but listen. Former Notre Dame star Golden Tate, who's from Tennessee, said, quote, "Keep our name out of your mouth. Go Irish."
Okay, well,
have you noticed that Golden Tate sounds a little like Golden Tate?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
All right. Would you take Marcus Satterfield over Josh Heupel? Some people may not know who Marcus Satterfield is.
Wait, sorry, and I wrote that wrong. It's Marcus Freeman. I don't know
Marcus Freeman. Yes, that's what I thought. Notre Dame's head coach. I was trying to figure out who Satterfield was. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame's head coach.
No, I wouldn't. I'll say this. My opinion of Marcus Freeman really improved after watching that Notre Dame Georgia game, because I'm just going to be honest. He outcoached Kirby Smart. That's why they won that game. He had that's one of the best game plans I think I've ever seen a program put together. Georgia was the better team. Notre Dame just was ready for everything they were going to do.
To me, Marcus Freeman is half of what Josh Heupel is. So what are the two main calling cards of Josh Heupel? Culture and offense, right? And now we're kind of wondering about the offense a little bit. But until we just see them fall flat on their face, I'm not willing to dismiss his offensive prowess. But I will say this. I think that Josh Heupel is significantly better from a schematic standpoint, and they're both culture guys. They have good culture in the locker room. But I don't think Marcus Freeman is as good of an X's and O's coach as Josh Heupel. We'll see.
Well, he game planned for Georgia a heck of a lot better than Josh Heupel did. We can say that much.
Yeah. Seemed like a tired Georgia team to me, though, for some reason.
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
All right, Coop, you got to bring a little bit more energy. We're going to have to get him some coffee or like a pre-workout. Ryan Day, Ohio State.
No. The fact that Ryan Day hasn't won a national title yet. Yeah.
You've got to take Ryan Day.
No, not taking him. I could win with that talent at Ohio State.
But he's recruiting the talent, Caleb.
You're not recruiting the talent at Ohio State. You're getting the talent. You're at Ohio State. They're the only major program in the state of Ohio. The talent is falling in your lap. Okay? You're not doing anything.
All right.
That's like saying Butch Davis recruited that elite Miami team in 2001. No, he didn't. Those players all just fell in his lap.
Okay. You haven't covered recruiting nearly as much as me. It takes a little bit more work than maybe you think. Sports Treasures carrying over 5 million sports treasures before we get to fourth down. So much more. Follow on Facebook for the best sports memorabilia daily updates. Go to Facebook. Follow on Sports Treasures TN. Sports Treasures TN. What down, Coop?
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
Darn right, you're all SEC. All right. So the last one is Steve Sarkisian at the University of Texas. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that both are similar, but Steve Sarkisian right now would have to be considered the better coach. And Caleb, I don't see how you could possibly argue that.
You mean besides the fact that Steve Sarkisian has a personal issue that you have to worry about?
It hasn't cropped up.
All right. I probably am leaning your way with Steve Sarkisian right now. I am. I think Steve Sarkisian, for two reasons. One, I think Steve Sarkisian, you're not going to figure out his offense because he actually runs a pro-style offense. So it's not like you figure it out. It's that you've got to get the Jimmies and Joes to stop it, pretty much. Whereas I think there is a fear with Josh Heupel that his offense is going to get figured out and that he's not going to adjust. I think Steve Sarkisian is a very, very brilliant mind at quarterback as a quarterback's coach. No, I take this back. I'm reversing all this. I'm taking Josh Heupel over Steve Sarkisian. I am.
Why?
Because Steve Sarkisian has underachieved each year at Texas, I think, including this year, by the way. Getting to the college football playoff Final Four, that's based on who he got to play. But he had a team on Georgia's level of talent, and he lost to Georgia twice in the regular season. And so I'm not as high as you are on Steve Sarkisian. So
well, I wouldn't say I'm high on him. I wouldn't say I'm high on him. I really only think, to be quite honest with you, there's
who's the best coach in the college football playoff period?
Say, I mean, well, let's do that. Let's do this, and please fill in the message board because we could use your help on this. By the way, the poll question that is up and at him: where does Josh Heupel rank among semifinal coaches? Best, middle of the pack, worst. Right now, middle of the pack, 75%. Worst, 25%. Kirby Smart's an elite coach, right?
Yep.
Who else is an elite coach? I mean, Saban's gone. We thought you and I both were wrong about Brian Kelly. I thought he would be elite to this point. I don't like anybody really off the Alabama tree. I like Todd Monken, but he's in the NFL. If he ever came back to college, I think he would be an elite coach. I'm having trouble coming up with even 5 names that would be elite coaches, and I'm even going to the NFL, Caleb. There seems to be a bit of a vacuum.
I think there is. And Heupel's definitely lost his luster from a few years ago. Lincoln Riley's nowhere near where he was. Okay, so are any of the 4 in the Final Four elite coaches? I mean, someone's going to be considered elite once they win a national title. I mean, right. But we'll say this. Like, did we miss, like, maybe the one I'm going to fall back on, maybe we misread Marcus Freeman. We'll have to see. But, like, if he wins a national title, Dave, I mean, we may have really misread him. And
yeah, and I don't even think you and I were working together when I read him. And I read him as this guy's not going to have success because I just thought the players were too happy that he got the job. That always scares me. Do you remember how they cheered when he got the job?
Oh, yeah. All right, let's rank them real quick. Let's just rank the playoff coaches real quick.
Nobody cheers when they've got a super tough warden in prison.
No, I totally agree. Yeah.
If people are cheering for you and you're in an authoritative role, it means you're not very authoritative.
All right, so Marcus Freeman or James Franklin, who's better? Who would you hire?
I would. I'm so down on Marcus Freeman. I think he's going to get blown out in the semifinals. So I would take James Franklin, but I've got him right about the same.
James Franklin runs a program. Okay, on the other side, Steve Sarkisian, Ryan Day. Who are you taking?
I would take Steve Sarkisian.
All right, now so then Steve Sarkisian versus James Franklin. Who are you taking?
Well, I'm not gonna do it like that. I would take Sarkisian. Here's how I would rank them.
So you think Sark is the best coach in the playoff?
Yes, I think it's Sark, Day, and
Freeman,
barely Freeman. If I could do a tie for third, I would probably do that. What about you?
I'm gonna go. See, this is so hard for me, but I'll probably, because I'm not a huge believer in any of them, but look, by default right now, I'm having Marcus Freeman as the best coach in the Final Four. I think doing this at Notre Dame is way harder than doing it at any of the other schools. Notre Dame's an impossible place to win at, and he just beat Georgia by out-coaching Kirby Smart. So I got Freeman, Sark, Franklin, and I got Day at the bottom. I'm sorry. I do. I think Ryan Day has massively underachieved to this point. Not having a national championship and losing to Michigan 4 years in a row stands out to me when Ohio State has such better talent.
Well, you throw that out to Ohio State fans, and they're going to tell you he's 4th out of 4.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no question about it. So, yeah, you bring up a very good point.